Raised in Texarkana, surrounded by a close-knit family, BAANG says his childhood set a foundation for his music later in life.
My grandparents did a really good job of establishing this idea of character and this idea that what's cool isn't always right and what's right isn't always cool. And so as a young boy, like, that was kind of instilled in me. So as I got older, then it was like, okay, you know, I recognize that my stance might not always be the most popular, but if it's one of like moral uprightness, then that might be the side to take.
A bit of an introvert with a talent for penning his emotions, BAANG was recruited to move to Northwest Arkansas by his brother, who was living in Fayetteville at the time. As a University of Arkansas student, BAANG used music as an emotional outlet. That changed after he and some friends made a mixtape.
It kind of got some popularity around campus, and so from that point, I was really wrestling with this tension of, you know, you enjoy this, you love it, other people enjoy it, other people love it. You don't necessarily want to make a career out of this.
BAANG began doing local shows and released 2 albums. His music reflects intense emotions, hard conversations, mixed with positivity and lighter topics.
A lot of my music is like I said, like feeling and emotion based. And so like if I watch the news and see like, you know, an unarmed black man get killed by the police. And everything isn't always like, you know, somber and dark and gloomy, but I do see value in addressing and confronting these things in a way that's digestible and in a way that challenges us. I do see value in that. But again, like, it's not always that. Sometimes it's like, oh shoot, I get to go to press room and have mimosas. I'm gonna make a song about that because I feel bougie and I feel fancy. You know what I mean? Like,
BAANG says music allows him to explore emotional commonality through our differences.
some of my stuff is like, it's heavy stuff. And so you can really see it on their faces when you say, you know, I got a song that I did with Bike Rack and I say, I'm driving 100 down the highway and my eyes are wide open because when you black, everything you drive looks stolen. And so when you say that line and people hear it and they're just like, like you can kind of see, like you just did, like you can see like everything just changes. Like the eyes is the window to the soul. You can see that they're responding.
And while aware of the responsibility musicians have to be intentional with the messages that they share, BAANG also says he finds that music can be a great force for unity.
When you're at a concert, you know, when you're at an event, for some reason, Democratic and Republican doesn't matter. For some reason, like they just don't matter because we're all united and surrounded, celebrating like this one thing, which is the music that moves us.
I'm trying to process what I'm going through. Can we just be? You know, can we just do our thing? So that's the first song. Make some noise if you're having a good time. Okay, boom.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Welcome, Jeremiah. I haven't seen you since we recorded that interview last year in 2020. This is Jeremiah Pickett. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. A lot has changed.
A lot has changed. And hi, Heather, my friend.
Hello. You're my favorite journalist. I just want to let the people know that, like, I'm like, that girl can VO. I'm telling you, boy.
But voiceover work. Well, we want to talk about what's new, including, Jeremiah, your new album. So we had talked about the fact that you had a new album. I'm like, Heather and I have to talk to you about it.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about Wine, Water, and Somebody's Daughter. I love it.
Right.
Hey, I'm not above tooting my own horn. I think that's a great title. But yeah, so we dropped Wine, Water, and Somebody's Daughter. I think a week ago, yesterday was when it dropped. And initially it was going to be just a bunch of really fun, just vibey things you could just play in the summertime. Like, you know, go have you a cocktail, hang out with friends, go by the pool, and just play some really fun music. Well, then I kind of started tweaking the concept a little bit, and my friend actually petitioned to me. He was like, you know, why don't you give us another storyline? You know, kind of use this platform as an opportunity to like invite people in and share some of your experiences, share some of your struggles, share some of your relationship. I don't really want to say advice, but like, yeah, share your stance on different things. And so that's what it turned to. So it went from just like this lighthearted, super jovial concept to kind of a more in-depth depiction and description of relationships as I see it and how they are intertwined. So how my relationship with self affects my relationship with my family, and how my relationship with the universe affects my relationship with, you know, said significant other, or whatever the case may be. And it just kind of puts a little bit of a microscope on some of those things. And so anyways, without giving too much of it away, it is basically my take on relationships and how each one affects each other one.
So the album's been out, you said, for just about a week. How's it feel to have it out now into the world?
It's so surreal. So I'm now what I would consider a professional artist. I quit my job at the top of summer. Would not recommend you to just jump out in the abyss with no plan in the middle of a pandemic, but I did, and here we are. But I'm super grateful. It's been really, really cool. It's been neat to see how well things have been received. And Dana, to your credit, a lady that I met while I was doing a show with the Monumental told me she watched your interview with me, and that was her decision to move to Northwest Arkansas from Texas. Which I'm kind of freaking out, because I'm like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, I would, you know, I'm from a smaller city. We were looking for diversity. I watched this interview and just packed up my family and moved. And I was kind of like, so
now, see, I'm gonna get a little emotional about that, because that's actually
I'm serious.
Cool, and I love to hear that.
Unbelievable, right? So anyways, I'm saying that to say, like, you never really know impact. You know what I mean? And like, you never really know how people are responding to your stuff, but it's been super, super neat. In a week, I was kind of watching. I'm not really good with like data, and I'm trying to get better at tracking, you know, who's listening and where they're listening. And so I did, and the #1 country is the United States, which makes sense. And then it goes the Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, Australia, which I don't know anybody in Australia.
Come on, Australia.
And then Japan. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like people actually are, you know, tuning in. So it's been really, really cool to just see everyone kind of rally. And Northwest Arkansas specifically, I think they're wrapping their arms around me and kind of just, you know, like I said, rallying behind me. So I'm excited about that.
As we should. I'm excited about those fronts too. I'm just saying.
So this is new. This is new. We can go here. We can go here next.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited. It looked good. They look good on you. So I saw the difference. So congratulations on those. Congratulations on the record. So fire. I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. Okay. I was listening to it yesterday. You got approval from my child. He's 11. So there you go. My husband even said it was rocking, you know, had a vibe to it. So I was like, okay, there you go. So
Love
the show
that.
is free.
Love that.
I'm gonna say a title to one of your songs, and I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
That's good.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Hope the crowd is ready. All right. First up, colorways.
Beauty. You want a more in-depth, or just the first word?
I want what you thinking. I wanted to give people a little slice of life. What they can expect from the vibe of the record. Okay.
Love that.
Yo quiero. On point, Dana. You see that? Yo.
I had to put some Espanol in there to appeal to my Latinx side. I consider myself the Puerto Rican poppy. So that's where your quiero came from.
All right, with your vibe.
Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, pardon me. Sorry.
You gotta tell your fans stop calling.
Listen, I'm so sorry. I am so cut that. We don't have to cut for real, but I'm so sorry about that. I'm sorry. Okay. So with your vibe was the initial tone of the project. All of the songs were going to be kind of in that realm of just like real, like fun, real, just like, you know. So that's when I think with your vibe, I'm thinking like, you know, we're hanging out with friends and we just vibing.
Okay. I'm gonna do a couple more. Texting you. I just want to get the tea. I want to get the dirt. Ain't no tea with that, no dirt. Texting you.
You notice I had to start. You notice I had to start wiping sweat instantly.
I saw. That's what I'm saying.
That sounds scandalous.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear.
Tell
me about it.
We've all been there where you've sent a text. Okay. Sometimes it's a "I miss you" text. Sometimes it's a "I need closure" text. You know, and we've all sent the infamous double text. Like they didn't respond to the first message, so you text them again. Like we've all been there. And so texting you is just about that text, whatever it looks like.
So y'all been in that scenario. This one's gonna really hit hard.
We've been there. Yeah, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit.
Robert Horry.
Yes. Okay.
Come on now.
This is a good like. Okay, so I'm gonna. I could talk a while about this, but I'm gonna just make it really concise. There's a line in the song where I basically say someone's calling me kind of with some negativity, but instead of answering my phone, I just let it ring, and then I just say ring, 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 as though I'm letting the phone ring. But I name it. I say ring 8 times, and the legendary basketball player Robert Horry has 8 rings, and so I was just like, that's a really cool pun, you know, to kind of like so.
I like that. I like that.
I gotta tell myself in the back with that.
Oh my gosh. All right, last one. Monumental.
Okay, so Monumental is a very special song. I did a lot of R&B, a lot of singing, a lot of like vibing, and Monumental is one of the only songs where I'm just rapping all the way through. And I think as an artist, this is gonna sound very crazy, but like you have to remind people like, no, I can actually rap. Like, you know, yeah, I like to have fun and I like to do, you know, melodic stuff. But when it comes down to it, when it comes to this pen on this paper, like, you know, it's a difference. And so Monumental is just my way of saying like, hey, let me show y'all, you know, I still got bars, basically.
So you are so talented. If you haven't seen BAANG live, I saw you at the Neighborhood Concert Series, and that's actually where I discovered how talented you are. So if you get a chance, and we'll make sure that people are aware of where you're going to be next, don't miss that opportunity to see them live.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Heather, you had another question about.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Interesting year.
It is an interesting year. We are all facing the same thing, which is that pandemic. And just like you mentioned earlier that, you know, you left your job and you're going at this full time. And what's it like being an artist in the midst of a pandemic? Yeah,
that's a great question. And interestingly enough, if you're an artist, even outside of a pandemic, right, even when the world is semi-normal, whatever that looks like, it's still incredibly difficult, you know, so you can only multiply the difficulty level by 1,000 because it's a pandemic, right? There's just so much uncertainty. And I know a gentleman named Neil, and he runs a studio in Bentonville called Haxton Road, super, super cool guy. And I'm telling him that I just kind of jumped out of the boat and stopped working with my job to, you know, work for myself full time. And he gives me a hug and he tells me how proud he is. And he says, you know, entrepreneurship is just like, you know, you jump out of the boat, and when you jump out, you hope there's water there. And if there is water there, then you hope you can swim. And if you can swim, you hope you can find your way to the shore. And if you find your way to the shore, you hope you can find food. And if you find, you know, and he just kind of like, and I look at him like we're in 2 completely different spheres, right? Like you've, in my mind, built this beautiful, like, you know, just foundation for yourself, and you're established. And he's affirming me and saying like, it doesn't change, brother. It just looks different from me to you, but there's still uncertainty. There's still, you know, a lot of navigating of unknown waters, and you kind of figure that as you go. So for me, I will say it's the most challenging part of thing I've ever done, and the most liberating thing I've ever done, because it's like, you know, you just trust yourself and trust the process, and like everything ends up working out like it should. So that's what it's like, quitting your job, being an artist in the pandemic.
I'm going to play off of your comment about Neil Greenhut at Haxton Road Studios, because we do things in this region to support musicians. What do we, you can tell us from your perspective, what do we do as a Northwest Arkansas region right in supporting musicians, and what can we do better?
That is a
we
good
can always be better, right?
Sure. The first thing that we do right is we care. You know, and even when we don't know how to roll out a program, or when we don't know how to necessarily put people like me on stage immediately, I know that there's a desire to do those things. And I know that, like, just based off of, I mean, you got Jared Sears with City Sessions and all of these guys who they try to build a platform to where our voices can be heard. And they reach out, and as it stands, they pay well, which is really good, because, you know, as artists, we don't want to get on stage for, you know, pennies on it. We're grateful, but like, we got bills too. So Northwest Arkansas cares, and we're trying to figure out ways to highlight the local artists, and that is really, really good. What we can do better, I would say, and maybe this is selfish, but we just need more things. We need more almost like tier systems. And so in Northwest Arkansas, there's a lot of different artists. You got people who are just starting. You got people who are established. You got people who've traveled the world. And I think we need to create a space where all of those talents can be highlighted and all of those talents can be affirmed. And so, like, open mic nights for the I don't use this word negatively, but like amateur, or like the ones who are just now starting. And I think we can just put people, which I would consider my position. I haven't, you know, toured the country or anything, but like, I'm establishing myself now. I think we could create more spaces for artists like myself to be able to perform more regularly, and be compensated for that. So.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about the future a little bit.
Okay.
And that's good insight. We always want to know what we can do better. I know we do a lot of things great, but there's always that next step. And that's good insight to hear. All right, BAANG. I want to go back and talk about the name BAANG. Believe, aspire. Now, I've gotten this wrong before, so I'm making sure I do this correctly this time. Believe, aspire, achieve, now go.
Can we insert an applause right here? When you edit this, can we? That's it. That is it.
So, playing off the now go.
Yep.
What's next? What are you doing next?
Yeah.
What will you do next?
That's a great question. So immediately we're going to continue to ride this wave off of this album, Wine, Water, and Somebody's Daughter. You guys, the response has been so cool. And it's just, so we're just going to ride it. We're going to ride it out. We're going to continue to release content, music videos. I got a documentary that I'm releasing really soon. Oh, cool. 3-part short mini doc. Super excited. We're going to roll out some merch. So we got the Wine, Water, Somebody's Daughter merch. Different colorways, no pun intended. You know
what? Because that's a song on the record.
So, something I'm really excited about. We have these wine glasses that have like some of the cover art on there that we're gonna.
Oh, that's cool.
See, now that's taking merch up a notch.
Listen, we're getting fancy with it. Okay, we're separating ourselves. We're letting them know that we're not playing right now. We're going full speed. We're just gonna rock this wave. I'm gonna release another album really soon.
Wow.
And so that's just where we are right now. We're kind of navigating what performing looks like, wanting to be sensitive to everything that's going on, but also want to be creative and figure out ways to, still get in front of people, whether that's or this. That's what's next for BAANG.
All right, Heather's got a challenge for you now.
BAANG. Before we get out of here, BAANG, I want to know what the skills is like off the dome. Okay. So I'm gonna need a freestyle about Arkansas weather. I need you to hit
she loves the weather.
I love the weather, Dana. I mean, I really do.
Heather, where are you from?
I am from Virginia.
Okay.
Beach.
Hey. Okay. Arkansas weather is very different. One day it can rain, the same day it can snow. It can be hot. Okay, wait, I was done. And actually, you know. Let me see. Let me ask what is weather like in Virginia?
Beach. It's beachy, sunny, breezy.
Pretty consistent, pretty breezy.
Consistent, yes.
Okay.
Not this humidity.
Okay. Arkansas weather is very different. You know, one day it can rain, the same day it can snow. It's a lot of humidity. It makes us sweat. It's not quite like Virginia, but we still feel like we're the best. So.
Okay. You done put in my home state. I'm with it.
That was a customized freestyle just for you.
It does snow and rain in the same day. This is true.
No, seriously. You gotta love Arkansas to put up with the weather. I will say that much. You gotta love it.
We're almost to fall. Fall weather is the best.
Fall weather is the best. Fall weather's bomb.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Heather. Before we let you go, we wanted to show the music video for Velocity, and I wanted to let you set that up, but also tell people where they can find you and your music online.
Totally. Okay. You guys, again, I am BAANG. That is an acronym for Believe, Aspire, Achieve, Now Go, also known as the Neighborhood Love Dealer, also known as El Capitan, also known as Puerto Rican Puppy, also known as, okay, we ain't gonna do all my aliases, but you can find me on any social site, Instagram, Twitter, at LRBANG. You can go to my website, lovestnl.com. And this video was shot by my really good friend, Alec Ward. It's called Velocity. It's the 5th track off of Wine, Water, and Somebody's Daughter. Actually, I think the 5th or 6th track. And yeah, you can find it on all streaming platforms, wherever you listen to music. Yeah, and I appreciate your support.
I will link to all of those things below this on the DBI Facebook page so people can find it. BAANG, Jeremiah, great to see you again. I wish you so much success. You're so talented and you're so generous to chat with us.
I appreciate y'all so much. I want you to know both of you all have a glass coming. Everybody else, you know, you got to go to the website and get it. But for my girls, you got a glass coming.
Thank you. Heather, my friend, I will see you soon.
Yes.
Thank you guys. All right. Enjoy Velocity.
See ya.
Oh yeah, drop my hips like watch her sing like
I don't think I'm where I should be. I don't want you to follow me. I picked up my velocity. They picked up animosity. How you gon' send a shot to me? Swear that meant a lot to me. I try hard, but that got to me. Guess that's just how we got to. I don't like attention, but I grab some. I'm all through town right now with this bad one. I know I said that time last, I'ma be my last one. But I've been living fast right now, trying to move on past one. And that's why I don't think I'm where I should be. I don't want you to follow me. I picked up my velocity. They picked up animosity. How you gon' send a shot to me? Swear that meant a lot to me. I try hard, but that got to me. Guess that's just how we got to. All this decision getting bad for me. I'm on through town right now with this bad one. I know I said that time last, I'ma be my last one. But I've been living fast right now, trying to move on past one. And that's why I don't think I'm where I should be. I picked up my velocity. How you gon' send a shot to me? I try hard, but that got to me. Guess that's just how it got to be. Made it out of them starving streets. What I did like the lottery. Bust it down clean with all my kings. Street to game like Monopoly. My brother got cut like races. He told me he trying to get busy. Yeah. I told him he needs some new neighbors, cause right now he stay by the glizzy. I'm like a poet, the way I just poet until I get dizzy. Call up Lil Woody, we finna get trippy. Special occasion when he in the city. I hit my brother today, he was pop, tried to do him like Pop, tried to do him like Biggie. Do him like X, tried to do him like Jimmy. Do him like Fat, tried to do him like Nipsey. Yeah, guess they think that's where I should be. Pray my angels gon' follow me. Father, they sending shots to me. It ain't get to you, but it got to me. Guess that's just how it got to be.
getting bad for me. Said all this attention getting bad for me.